Your story, you've been through a lot of near-death experiences,
Yes.
and God has seen you through. And I don't want to dwell a lot on that, other than to say that you've noted God as faithful, haven't you?
Definitely. He's been faithful. His hand of protection is definitely...
I showed off the top of the program a photograph, and I think we have a couple more photos about this one where, miraculously, you did walk out. Tell us just a little background to this accident.
Yes, that accident happened around 1998, and I actually fell asleep on the wheel.
Oh, wow.
And I remember closing my eyes, and then when I woke up, when I opened my eyes, I was just spinning, crashing into the guardrail, and eventually when the car stopped, I saw the engine, you see how it was damaged, and God allowed one person to be on the road at that time, that he was able to actually come back, help me out of the car, and before actually other cars hit it as well. So it was, that person actually got off work 2 hours early for the first time in their life.
Yeah.
And God allowed that person to be there to come and help me, and it was a powerful experience for me.
You know, Robert, the longer we live life, there's more opportunities for God's faithfulness to be proven in our lives.
Exactly.
You've seen it, for example, with these car wrecks. But also, you shared with me that you went through a loss a while ago. People go through losses. We lose loved ones, we lose jobs, we lose our homes, we lose marriages. And there's a lot of people watching right now that are still in that dark time where they're just overwhelmed by the circumstances and can't seem to really work their way out. Now, I know a few years ago, you went through a divorce.
Yes.
And you had a couple of years, you said, that you really had to work through things.
Oh yeah, there was a couple of years when I actually didn't want to do anything. I was just like, how can this happen? And the biggest thing for me, really, if anyone is actually in that area, is that to allow God to really minister to you and really seek Him. When you don't feel like praying, when you don't feel like worshiping, that's when you really need to do it. Because you can't just worship Him based on circumstances. He's a God that deserves worship all the time, deserves praise all the time.
Now, is God patient and He allows people to go through times of depression?
He'll wait for us until we acknowledge Him, that He's someone that can actually bring us through that. And He's someone that definitely forgives. And that's what everybody needs to understand, is that He forgives. He's a God of love.
That's liberating, isn't
Yes,
it?
very
to know
much
that
so.
God, His smile of approval is upon you.
Yes.
Even though you've gone through a very difficult time, a great loss, a shattered life.
Right.
Yet, it doesn't take much to please God's heart.
That's right.
What does it take to please God during these times when things are so dark and so heavy? What's God looking for in a person?
I believe it's definitely the trust in Him, that despite it may look like everything is just going all around you like chaos, just to trust Him. Do you trust me in the storm? Do you trust me? That's what He really wants to know. Do you trust me? Even though whether you made mistakes or whatsoever, all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. So all you got to do is continue to love Him, and He will allow everything to work out.
Talk to me about healing the broken heart.
That's something definitely I've learned about God. He heals the broken heart. And that also comes that you really got to surrender. So when you go through a situation like that, a loss, then it's like you really try to protect your heart.
Yeah.
You really try to protect it, and you don't want it to be hurt or taken advantage of. And what God is just saying, well, I'm not someone else. I am the God. I'm the Almighty. I'm the Omega. I am the author of you. I created you. He just wants us to acknowledge, give it back to Him. Give your heart back to Him, and He'll mend it, and He'll take care of it. And I've seen the faithfulness in my life, and He also declares that as long as we acknowledge Him, He will direct our path.
Now, you talk about worship as well as being important. Praying to God, worshiping God even when you don't feel like it. Now, you're a talented worship musician, but what about those of us that can't keep a beat or a tone? Is that still all right with God if we worship God that way?
Oh yeah. He's not looking for the particular style. He's just looking for a pure heart. And He's just looking for you. Just give what you have. You can only give what you have.
And God will fill you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. This is wonderful. Talk to us about the connections you're making at church. You're up front, you're on the platform, you're playing, people are touching base with you. What area of ministry do you feel God has given to you to speak into the lives of others? What's the word God has given you?
Well, it's a combination. Even through definitely through music, because there's a spirit behind music. And the reason why I also did this album as well, I know that there's a powerful message in the music, and it's another medium for me to actually reach the lost, those that don't know about Jesus Christ. It's another method of getting the gospel out. So certain people that, let's say there's no lyrics in the music, this particular music, but they actually hear the songs, Lord, I lift your name on high. They can be an atheist. They can be hearing holy, 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 because the music sounds pleasing. Yes. They love it. The actual spirit is ministering to them. And I like the fact that it's sowing a seed, so that when they come, they're going to be humming those melodies, and they're going to know what they're declaring.
So you're convinced that there is actually a spirit that goes along with all music?
All music.
Whether it be evil spirit or God's spirit. And people can invite that spirit into their home through music, can't they?
Through music.
So I know in our home we believe that, and the music that fills our house is Christ-centered worship music, because it invites the Spirit of God in.
Exactly.
And that's a good line to draw in homes, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
As far as what you allow into your homes and into your hearts and minds is the music.
Exactly.
Robert, you're going to play for us again, and I'm going to ask you, make your way on over to the piano there. Thank you so much for just spending a few minutes with us. Just go right on over there.